Hey y'all, if you're new, welcome. I'm Joya, and this is Fibroids and Friends, a little place on the internet that I've created for me and my fibroid fighting sisters and our friends who love and support us. If you are returning, welcome back. I am so glad to have you in service one more time. If you're back from last week, then you know that I tried to promise 15 minutes or less videos with as much useful information so we get to nitty-gritty city real quickly around here. You see me looking down. I'm looking at my notes so that we can stay on task and get out of service on time. All right. So heads up, there will be a very unflattering photo of my girl JoJo, aka my 24 centimeter fibroid that was removed. Yes, I named her. She had a personality of her own, so her name is JoJo. But there will be a photo of her at the end. So if that's not your cup of tea, please stop sipping and exit stage left, okay? Now, before you go, make sure you like, comment, and or subscribe, and then exit. But if you like that kind of thing and you want to see what she looked like, stick around to the end of the video. So, y'all know why we're here today. We are here to figure out how I got to the point of an open myomectomy. All right, boom. March 2019. Your girl was a gym rat. Like, I still enjoy working out, but at that point, it was on 1,000. Like, literally 6 days a week, sometimes more than once a day. I fell in love with the process. I fell in love with fitness. I loved how I felt. I mean, my biceps, my back, my thighs, everything was just on, okay? The abs was abbing, at least the top four, okay? I had a solid 4-pack. So I got to the point where I became a certified personal trainer because I wanted other people to learn and feel the greatness that I was feeling, right? All right. So one night I'm laying down and I'm just kind of prodding and poking around on my body because that's just a normal thing to do. We all do that, right? And I noticed that it's kind of hard at the bottom around my belly button. And I'm like, well, that's weird, but whatever. So I'm poking. And I could have sworn something poked me back. Hold the phone. What was that? All right. So first question, am I pregnant? Now I was about 99% sure I was not, but Jesus allowed Mary to have a baby. So I didn't know if I was about to be the next example of his ability. So I was like, well, let me go take a pregnancy test. Waiting on the results, reading the box, 99% accuracy rate. Cool. Test says no. Then I think maybe I'm in the 1% that the test is wrong. So let me go talk to a professional, right? So I go see my OB and she is listening to my concerns. She's feeling around and she says, I bet you have fibroids. Nothing to be worried about. 80% of women have them or will get them before they're 50. Most people don't even know they have them. So let's do an ultrasound just so we can confirm and we will go from there. All right, so ultrasound came back and she said, you have a fibroid in there that's measuring about 11 centimeters. Nothing to worry about. We'll just keep a watchful eye on it. Now, mind you, I'm a healthy, about 29, 30-year-old at this point. So I only went to the OB once a year. So for me, a watchful eye was like, okay, well, she'll check on it each year at my annual. Again, 11 centimeters. Caveat, I had no idea what a fibroid was, okay? None. So 11 centimeters, she didn't sound concerned, so I didn't get concerned. I left, pressed my way, and just came to the conclusion I wasn't gonna get those bottom two abs. So I was asymptomatic, and I just kept living life. So about a year and a half later, now we're in October 2020, and it's a whole nother story, y'all. JoJo is acting up. I'm still in the gym, so I'm still very healthy. Nutrition's on point, and I'm still working out 5 to 6 days a week. But now, if I try to walk uphill on a treadmill for 5 minutes, I'm tired. If I try to bend over to tie my shoe, I'm out of breath. If I try to lay on my stomach, I'm in excruciating pain. Like, it went from nothing to all the things in 18 months, right? Oh, and the best part, y'all, my period was lasting 3 weeks every month. Bleeding 21 to 22 days every single month. And I'm like, this can't be life. Like, it got to be something better, right? So I find a new OB in Tennessee. I've moved. And so this lady said, girl, this fibroid in here is too big. I can't even measure it in the ultrasound. I got to send you to a fertility specialist. So now I'm like, a fertility specialist? This sounds serious. And she said, it is serious. That thing is huge. You need to go talk to someone who specializes in that. So now I'm getting scared, right? But I'm keeping the faith that everything's going to be all right. So I go see a fertility specialist, and he took a vaginal ultrasound and said, I can't even get the measurements on the vaginal. I need you to go to get an MRI. Mind you, I've had shoulder surgery. I have had knee surgery. Y'all, your girl tore her ACL, MCL, and meniscus all at the same time. So I've had my fair share of MRIs, basically. But this one, y'all, I was in pain the whole time. First of all, it took 90 minutes, an hour and a half. And if you've had an MRI, you know that they tell you to be still. It's in this confined space and you can't move. And basically, I was miserable for the whole time. I could hardly breathe because of how JoJo was shifted, and laying on my back wasn't the most comfortable thing. So basically, it was so bad that my breathing patterns was off, and the imaging, it was not useful. So at this point, I just wasted 90 minutes in pain, and he said, well, let's try a CT scan. A week later, I get a CT scan, and also not the best experience, but at least he was able to get an idea of what we were working with. And yes, he said JoJo was measuring over 20 centimeters, the largest he had ever seen at his practice. We had to get it out, and we need to try to get it out quickly. But first, we're going to try to shrink it. All right. So now we're in December 2020. And after a couple of months of clearance, because apparently this is hard to get cleared for, I was told to do Lupron injections. So a lot of women stay away from Lupron. It has a bad reputation because of the possible side effects. And y'all, I had all of the side effects. Like, I'm talking mood changes. I'm talking even more tired, if that was possible. It was. But most of all, it puts your body in a menopausal state. So hot flashes. Y'all, I used to think my mom and them was exaggerating when they talked about hot flashes. But y'all, I had to start carrying a fan, a mini fan, around with me everywhere I went. Work, church, outside, just everywhere, okay? Because at a moment's notice, I was like, whew, oh, have mercy. Y'all, it's winter, and I am just drenching sweat at random places at random times. So that Lupron did me in. And the worst part, it didn't even work, okay? I got 2 of the 3 injections, and the doctor said, it's not shrinking. I'm not going to put you through this another month. Let's schedule surgery. All right. So now we're in January 2020, and surgery has been scheduled for March. So over the next, 6 to 8 weeks, I'm trying to scramble, contact my job, contact insurance company. I'm doing all the things with my extra commitments to let them know I'll be out of commission for the next, 5 to 6 weeks. And let's figure out what I need to do, right? So it's March. It's time to go under the knife. Your girl is nervous, okay? But again, it's not my first time going under the knife, but it's my first time going under in this capacity. This is basically a C-section. An open myomectomy is essentially a C-section, where instead of getting a beautiful baby, you get a big old fibroid in my case, okay? So, I was nervous. What if I'm the person that hemorrhages on the table and bleeds out? What if I'm the person whose scar doesn't heal great and I end up infected, right? All these things are going through my mind, but y'all, I prayed. When I tell y'all I prayed for the surgeon, for the nurses, for the tools, for the knife, for the bed, for the lights. I prayed that his cell phone didn't go off and he had an emergency and had to leave. Y'all, I prayed for my husband, for my parents, for everybody that was praying for me. Like, your girl was on the main line, okay? Jesus, do you hear me? Because I was trying to get all that fear out before I closed my eyes on that table. Also, before I closed my eyes, they made me sign paperwork saying that if this becomes a life or death situation, we will take your uterus out. And I do believe you have to sign that paperwork before a myomectomy to say that if things get to the point where they have to do a hysterectomy, you consent. I did not want a hysterectomy, but I also did not want to die on the table trying to save my uterus, right? So I signed the paperwork, I closed my eyes, and that was that, right? So I wake up and they say, hey, I don't think I told y'all, when we backed up for the CT scan, there was more than just JoJo. There happened to be 4 fibroids in there. So she had created some homegirls in there with her. But anyway, so when I wake up, they say, we got 3 of the 4 fibroids out. One of them, the location, it would have been too risky to get out. It was only about 3 or 4 centimeters. Shouldn't cause you any issues getting pregnant, so we left it there. But we did get the big girl out. JoJo is out and on the table in the operating room. Y'all, 24 centimeters, 6.7 pounds. My baby boy did not weigh that much when he was born. So I basically delivered a baby via C-section during an open myomectomy, okay? Before the surgery, the plan was to do a vertical cut, not a bikini cut that a lot of women get, but a vertical cut from my breastplate to my pelvic bone. But God said, no ma'am, I got something better for you. Y'all, JoJo was pedunculated, and I could do a video detailing what that means later. But basically, it's, in summary, it was on a stalk outside of my uterus, a stalk that's really called a peduncle. And they didn't have to, it wasn't in my uterine wall, so it was hanging off, and they were able to cut her out without disturbing other things, okay? So instead of a full vertical cut from my breastplate to my pelvic bone, they were able to get her out with a much smaller vertical cut from my belly button down, which made my recovery a lot better. It was still hard, y'all. Recovery from this surgery is tough. And in my opinion, it was worse than my actual C-section when I had my baby. But I can imagine how much worse it would have been had it been that longer vertical incision. So thank God for that. Thank God for Jesus, okay? But yeah, so that's where we were. Recovery, I can do a whole video about that. But again, it was tough. But I thank God that I was able to live to tell this story right now. About how we got here, how my small, not to worry about it, 11 centimeter fibroid became 24 centimeters in less than 2 years. Now, to put things into perspective, they say that an average fibroid grows 1 to 2 centimeters a year. And mine had more than doubled in size in less than 2 years. So I have my thoughts on why I think that happened, and I will share that in a video very, very soon. But I'm just happy that I'm here to be able to tell the story, to be able to share, and to be able to give information that can help someone else not deal with the pain and the suffering that I dealt with, okay? I'm looking at my clock. We are under 14 minutes. Y'all, I did that, okay? Go girl. Listen, the fibroid picture is coming real soon. So again, exit stage left if you get queasy about that kind of thing. But before you go, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Thank you for coming. I'm so excited to share all the knowledge that I've learned over these years about fibroids, and in hopes that I can help you, encourage you, inspire you, or someone that you know. So if you know someone fighting fibroids, send them on over. I got so much to tell, but let's keep in mind, I am not a doctor or medical professional. I am just a fibroid fighting sister that's out here trying to spread the word and let people know that this is a real thing, that this can be a dangerous thing, and that we need to stop being silent and talk about it. All right? Well, I want you guys to meet JoJo. That's it. That's all, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Bye. Here's JoJo.